Chair calls to invited testimony witnesses Roy Lenardson and Grace Price. Roy Lenardson and Grace Price. Grace, we'll start with you.
Amazing. Thank you, Madam Chair and esteemed committee members, for having me today. I'm Grace Price, a 19-year-old food activist speaking on behalf of SB 379. SB 379 seeks to remove soda, candy, potato and corn chips, and cookies from the list of items eligible for purchase with SNAP. This legislation has been introduced in over 20 states across America so far this year. Americans want to be healthy, and it starts with changing the incentives, not allowing massive conglomerates like Coca-Cola to abuse them. SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. One of the program's goals is to improve nutrition by encouraging the purchase of healthy foods to support better dietary choices. With this as the goal, you might be appalled to learn that sugar-filled sodas are the #1 purchased commodity item. Every day we allow this continue, and we fail these children, their parents, and the taxpayers. SNAP kids consume 43% more sugary drinks than those not on SNAP. America has an obesity crisis, and products like soda and candy funded by SNAP are making it worse. With 72% of SNAP recipients also on Medicaid, we are paying for the problem and the solution. Is sugar really so bad? Well, brain scans for sugar nicotine users are nearly identical. We could also define the signs of addiction: binging, withdrawal, craving, sensitization, all of which sugar has been shown to elicit in animal studies. No child's brain should match that of a nicotine addict. This is not free choice, it's addiction. In 2014, we stood up against addictive products in SNAP by removing tobacco and alcohol. Why? Because we knew it was irresponsible to push addictions on children. Now, a decade later, it is time we do the same for candy and soda. This isn't controversial. Even my 6-year-old niece knows candy and soda are unhealthy. You don't need a master's degree in nutrition to recognize that these products have no place in a meal program that's meant to supplement nutrition. SB 379 is a necessary step to align SNAP with its mission, assisting nutrition, not harming it. I urge you to support.
Thank you, Grace, for coming. I know that you testified on bills earlier. You know, your story's you're advocating. What turned you on to this?
Well, I actually advocated for this bill in Arizona and was shocked by the big soda companies sending their own person to come and advocate for the fact that there's no correlation between soda consumption and obesity, which is just a straight up lie. We have multiple different studies and analysis that show that's not true. And it just shows you that there are people who have continuously abused the SNAP program and are now hiding behind all of these different ideologies that, oh, well, you'll get canceled if you say anything against it. And I'm here because I want to support the children on this program and protect them from the chronic disease that sugar will lead them to develop.
Thank you, Grace. We appreciate you being here. If you would state your name for the record, who you're with, and you may begin your testimony.
Yes, hello again. The last time I promised. My name is Roy Lenardson. I'm here from FGA Action. The Senator and Grace did a great job with the numbers, so I'll cut to the chase. I think the big question that you're all being asked is, how's it going with our health in this country? And so if 42% of adults and 20% of kids are obese, and we spend over $600 million just alone here in Texas on soda, and that obesity has tripled since the 1960s, I think it's a fair question to ask as a policymaker, how's it going? And I think the answer is pretty clear. It's not going that great at this point. Now, I don't believe this is a silver bullet. I believe this is a part of a huge conversation that we're about to have for the first time in my life as someone who's been in politics for about 35 years. And it's shocking to me, as I'm sure to many of you, that we're actually having this discussion. It isn't just about people on food stamps. It's not just about SNAP. It's about everything. It's about food manufacturers. It's about food processing. The conversation that Secretary Rollins, who I'm sure most of you actually know, and RFK is going to be astounding and earth-shattering and never before seen. I've had a couple of opportunities now in DC to see what's unfolding. The president, I think you may have seen his executive order that he issued. This is an American commitment to health. It's a moral issue in the eyes of the president and of the folks running this thing. This is about people being able to, grandparents being able to play with their grandchildren. This is about long-term health. This is about dignity and empowerment in the long run. Now, this is only a first stake in the ground. And the reason we're in states, and I think I've done this now in a dozen states. It's sitting on 2 governors' desks right now. Governor Huckabee Sanders has already signed it and sent it in to the president. I think it's passed 6 other states, at least 1 chamber, 2 other states, both chambers will be vetoed by the governor, and about 9 other states where it's pending. The reason we're having this debate here now is because Congress has been too afraid to have it. That's why we're here. And it turns out, having done this for a long time in the States, from Tallahassee, Topeka, and Baton Rouge to Boise, right here in Austin, is that congressmen and congresswomen and senators actually are afraid of state legislators and what they think. And I don't mean that in a negative term, I mean that in a sense of when you speak, they listen. And so we've decided to pivot and come to the state capitals and do it from there and not wait as we have waited year after year. Even during the Trump administration, Sonny Perdue from Georgia made sure that this did not happen. I helped write the waiver in Maine that was denied by the Trump administration. This is a new administration with new folks in charge, and I think we're going to see something very new. But I do want to remind you that this is a huge discussion, much bigger. And so the question is the children's health worth it? Is the health of America worth it? I know it's not easy to do this, but as a dad and as seeing this stuff transpire over the last 30 or 40 years, it simply has to be stopped. And I'm thankful that state legislators are the ones standing up and forcing people to have this conversation, because Washington, D.C. would not have this conversation if you were not sitting here right in Austin and having it. So obviously, I'll close with saying it's very important here in Texas. I don't know if you know this, but the Secretary of Agriculture is in charge of food stamps. And the Secretary of Agriculture is from Texas. So the message you guys send from here would be extraordinarily helpful to all of us. So I'll stop with that. I'm happy to answer any questions, but it really is just, it's a bigger issue than just this bill.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I hope Secretary Rollins has a staffer watching today. Senator Perry.